Hi, y'all. I was just looking through everybody's homework and I saw a lot of really excellent math, but I also saw some really common errors. So I decided that instead of responding individually, I was just going to go ahead and make a key. And then you all could check your own work. Let me know if this is something that feels useful to you in the future and I can continue to do this. So I'm just going to work through each of these problems. So let me pull out my trusty calculator and get going. All right, so the first one, we are expanding. So we're going to use the distributive property. So we have negative 14 multiplied by negative 8x, and then negative 14 multiplied by 12. So my first term, negative 14 times negative 8, is going to be a positive 112x. And then negative 14 times a positive 12 is going to be a negative 168y. So we're going to say minus 168y. And we're done. In the second problem, we are being asked to factor. And I saw a bunch of different stuff going on in this problem. I'm going to show you two things I saw. Both of them are correct, but one is just a little bit more correct. So the first thing I saw happen was I saw people factor this by pulling out the common factor of 2. So 36 and 16 can are both multiples of 2. So what happens if we pull out 2? So I'm going to put my 2 on the outside. And so then I would take everything that's left over. So I'm going to say 36 divided by 2. So I have 18a. And then negative 16 divided by 2 is going to be negative 8. So that's one thing I saw. And this is fine, except for this is not fully factored. There is more we can do here. So I'm going to keep going, and I'm going to look for different factors. So 3 is not a common factor, but 4 is a common factor, right? 36 and 16 both share 4. So let's see what happens if I pull out a 4. Okay. So when I'm writing that on the outside of my parentheses, that means that everything on the inside needs to be, sorry, I'm not making sense. Hold on. Okay, I'm just going to start over again. So 36 divided by 4 is 9. So I could say that I have 9a. And then negative 16 divided by 4 is 4, or negative 4, so that would be minus 4. So both of these are correct. It's just the second one is completely factored and the first one is only partially factored. But they are equivalent, right? If we do the distributive property, we could say 2 times 18a is 36a, and 2 times negative 8 is negative 16, so that checks out. 4 times 9a is 36a. 4 times negative 4 is negative 16, so that checks out. They're all equivalent. It's just one is more factored than the other. Okay, okay, so in this problem, again, we need to find the common factor. This time we're looking for the common factor between 75a and 25b. So some things I saw people do was see that 5 was a common factor. But if we pull out 5 and we put 5 right here, then what if we multiplied 5 by b, we would only have 5b. We want 25b. So the fact that there was just a single b right there is a clue of what your multiplier is going to be. and that multiplier is going to be 25. So we would go back to our original expression. We would say 75 divided by 25 equals 3. So that means inside there we need 3a. And then here 25 divided by 25 equals 1. And we have 1b right there. So we're good. So again, this is our expanded. And this is our factored. Okay. Now I saw a lot of repeating errors here. For the most part, you all were doing a really good job of seeing that your x can only combine with x, and your y can only combine with your y, and then you have all of your constants. You have that +4, that +2, and that -7. Most common errors I was seeing here were students not paying attention to the all-important negatives. So when we get down to this part B, where we're combining like terms, we're saying 2x minus 6x. That's going to be -4x. And then we have -y minus 3y. That's going to be -4y. We move into our constants. We have 4 plus 2 minus 7. 6 minus 7. So that is going to equal -1. So our equivalent expression is going to be -4x minus 4y minus 1. So in C, I'm asking you to solve when x equals 2 and y equals 5. And again, I saw a lot of different methods here, so I apologize that I haven't gone over this in enough detail. But what that means is that everywhere you see an x, you replace it with a 2, and everywhere you see a y, you replace it with a 5. So here I would have -4 times 2 minus 4 times 5, right? Because my y is 5, minus 1. So -4 times 2 is -8 minus 20, right? Minus 1. So we end up with -29. So that's what it means when I give x and y values. You go in and everywhere you see an x, you replace it with a 2, and a y, you replace it with a 5.